Got some scary little crawlers rolling around in the back. Cyber Dragon action, and is that Odd Eyes? Make sure you guys smash on the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more. We've entered into a new format out here, and I love the chance to take a look at these ideas that players are trying to cook up out here. You know, new format means new opportunities to test out ideas, and I wanted to showcase some of these cool ideas that we've seen out here. And DarkArmedDuelist is no stranger to cooking up some very, very, very unique ideas out here. Between them and Kira Twig, I gotta tell you that you can always find some sort of deck profile out here that's going to tickle your fancy. And this one definitely tickled mine because we have Krawlers of all things free. You don't really see a lot of people talking about Krawlers anymore. You know, sure, it's like the ultimate casual experience, but it does force you to kind of take a turn to progressively build a board. You know, you got to call your friends up and you got to roll through the set monster arena out here. Now, obviously, Krawler Soma is the piece that does end up making this deck possibly viable to do the thing, because you get to special summon essentially 2 Krawlers from the frickin' deck and you're off to the races, you know. But what is your real payoff out here for going through the Krawler stuff? Well, you get to use some of the World Legacy trap cards out here, and of course Survivor and all of this to kind of do your thing. You also do have the Meknite Grisu in here as well. I mean, you gotta remember, this is a Foolish Barrel to drop down a World Legacy card, and congratulations, you can get off to the races. We just gotta get that extra monster on the field, which we can technically do so, and make Lib, and we can go off to the races to play the game. And then from here, it's just kind of branching out and figuring out which combo lines you want to go down to be able to play this deck. Now, I think Krawlers, you've got problems, obviously, when playing this. You know, something happening to the Soma can leave you in a pretty devastating position out here, but I think if you want a relatively fun tier 3 deck to actually try to play with your friends or something like that, I think this is going to be something that you can actually do and actually have a blast with. So that's good. Next up here, we have some Cyber Dragons. Holy crap, man. I think every OCG Thursday or like every other, we end up having a Cyber Dragon duelist out here stepping into the arena trying to challenge the men. Now, there's nothing wrong with that per se, but you've got to remember, you're still trying to play effectively a going second deck out here, and you've got a lot of problems trying to do so. One of the best things that you have going for you is going to be that Clockwork Knight going second. Make that Cyber Dragon and then make that Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon vacuum up so that, you know, you've taken care of your opponent's entire field. Now, we do not have Clockwork Knight just yet. Once we do get the Clockwork Knight Link 1, I think you're going to see a lot more people be interested in Cyber Dragons. It's not to say we'll probably get some more Cyber Dragon support, which itself will, you know, put an interest back into this deck. I know, you know, after the Tactical Try 3 stuff came out, a lot of people were very excited and wanted to try out Cyber Dragons just on Master Duel alone. So that's pretty cool. I also see we are playing one copy of the Heavy Polymerization Fusion Summon using 3 or more monsters from your hand or field as material. And you can banish this card from your extra deck, or you can also banish from your extra deck up to the number your opponent controls, but lose life points equal to the total attack of the banish. So, you know, you might have some cool little options, but I do think, you know, possibly sacking down into some other cool little things might be kind of cool. I also see machine duplication options in here as well. I mean, that's always the classic, right? Machine duping a core and getting 2 Cyber Dragons on the field just feels kind of unfair some days. Your opponent's kind of forced to deal with those answers, or forced to deal with that. We're also playing 1 copy of Karna, and of course, the Triple Disc Blaster, actually. This is also something kind of cute. It's also another free machine dupe target. I want to machine dupe this. It's going to feel really good. All right, we've also got, hello, we're playing Performapal Gentrude, of all things. Well, first of all, this is actually really cool because this is an actual Performapal deck. All right, like I've seen, you know, a lot of Odd Eyes stuff, and I know I said that this was an Odd Eyes deck at first, but it's really cool just to see the Performapal stuff performing out here, so we can actually play this. Like, to me, this is kind of an anime deck, actually. Now, obviously, we are playing things that maybe not so much might be in the anime universe. Like, let's call it what it is. players out here. I mean, you're doing a Chaos Emperor Dragon. You've got, Destrudo in here, but Destrudo is going to be very important for getting to those big synchro plays so you can actually play this deck. And of course, I mean, Fenrir doesn't care. Fenrir's a free special summon. You search for another copy of itself, and then if you got the Pendulum Scale set up, it's a free special summon of itself from the hand. Like, okay. And it also helps you set up some of those big materials. Now, the things I am curious about in here, I see we are playing the one copy of the Zephyr Noon down here so we can get to the Zephyr Divine Strike. This whole interaction's cute. I also see that this build is playing Heat Wave in here as well. I guess in a situation where Pendulum goes first and maybe they don't have a super optimal hand or something, they want to see that additional resource, you can Heat Wave your opponent and then attempt to set up. The other cool thing with this, though, is depending on how things set up, just having that clear field to OTK your opponent might actually be a little bit better than you might be expecting. So I actually kind of like this. This guarantees you a turn in order to kind of set up, and you don't really see that all that much. Also, because I believe we have every functioning crazy stupid little element down here. We have Dark Earth, it's all light. This is probably going to be a stupidly good boss monster to kind of end on. And I mean, you've got all those dark tuners in your deck. Should be fine. Also, shout out to the Odd Ice Fusion. We're actually playing it. All right, we've also got heroes for you. Talk about the most cookie cutter builds in the world. Now, I'm not saying hero is necessarily a dead deck. No. But what I am saying here is, man, a lot of these decks do look very copy and paste of each other. If you wanted a hero list and you were like, hey, what can we do? So this build is choosing to play 2 crossouts in the main deck, which is fine. Nibiru is still going to be a pain in your ass, and Nib has been seeing a little bit more play as late. That's a pretty big thing that you're going to have to worry about. I also see 1-1 split on this. I think it's fine. Maximizing on this. Your hand traps, I mean, it's interesting that they really wanted to keep this at a clean 40, man. Like, you really opted to only play 2 imperms. What was wrong with trying to go up to the 41 and put in the extra imperm? Are we really worried about that? Also, because we're only playing the 2 crossouts, I guess we are side decking the 3rd. We are playing the Shifter. I will say Shifter has taken a little bit more of a backseat approach in this meta. It's definitely, not gone, but it's a lot less relevant. I believe that, you have a greater chance of being hit with the Space Rock token than you do of this right now. You also do see that Dark Angel is still showing up out here. No matter how you might try to spin things right now, Dark Angel is still a very good hero card. Still being able to end on this and putting your opponent into one of those really stupid positions can be good. Not every matchup this is going to be relevant. I feel like we have to remind people of this. That's why you're looking at Dark Angel in the side deck, no longer in the main deck. We've shifted away from, I activate spell cards to being the best part of my deck to being back to monsters. So if you do run into one of those matchups where this card is going to see a little bit more play, that's why you actually side it to bring it in to those better positions when you need it. And our last list here was our Rizal Suship deck. This was out of the YCS, and I got to give Forbes some really, really big props, man. Showing this deck to the world opened up a lot of cool ideas, and I'm sure many of you have seen, the stupid ideas we've been testing around out here with all the Rizal stuff. We just had the hero deck and, gadgets as well. Some very, very interesting things to kind of just be messing around with. So, taking the Sue ships out to the port to show people, hey, we can do things, but you also had access to the Lordly Load package in here. I do think once we do get access to the Dragon, it's going to speed things up a lot more for a deck like this. You were ahead of your time, Duelist. You had some good ideas. You just really, really, really opened up a can of worms showcasing how much power this Rizal had. And I do think it would have been cool to see a little bit more of the Rizal package seeing playing here, but I can tell by looking at the way that this deck is built, you have a lot of necessary issues that you might be running into. You might have had, this deck definitely feels a little bit more jam-packed than it should be, but I look forward to seeing how this deck becomes a little bit more perfected out here, because it's Suship Rizal, man. Like, nobody expected this on their wild card for 2024. Since we're heading on into the new year, like, this is awesome to see. So, What do you guys think about all the creativity and things that are running out here for this new format? I'm super excited to see what people are going to try. So please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And you know what? New format, new me. You guys have a good rest of your day, all right? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.